Welcome back to some more Create Integrated. Now, where we left off last episode, I made myself some mechanical crafters, especially after getting access to brass, whenever we set up the ability to make that, by utilizing a blaze burner and just a simple mixer. Boop and boop. There we go. And with that brass and mechanical crafters, I was able to get crushing wheels set up. Now, the crushing wheels are super helpful. They're going to allow us to do a ton more in the future, but as of right now, I was just using them to simply process our ores. Now, all of this has been combined together to give us what is essentially an early game create workshop. But today, things start to expand a little bit because I am going to need lava. Now, sometimes you can get really lucky with lava and you can find pools of it underground and you can pipe out of there with create and it gives you unlimited lava. But I am not currently that lucky. There's currently like nothing really underneath us. So instead, we're going to have to rely on the Nether. And typically the Nether is full of lava lakes. And currently in the Nether where our portal is at, I believe there is lava underneath here. It's kind of, there's kind of lava. We just have to kind of go out here for it. Now in this same fortress that I'm currently in, this area is really cool and leads right to a lava lake. Which is going to be more than enough lava, and our portal is just right over here, so I don't think this is too far, but I do need to find the coordinates. Let's say this is where our portal is going to be at. I essentially need to take the coordinates from here and log this into, well, a portal converter calculator that's going to tell me the chords in the overworld. And so after doing some calculations, this is how unrealistic it is going to be to transfer lava from the Nether and choosing the position in the Nether. I think we're gonna have to get kind of lucky here because if I want to send this through a portal, it is gonna be very difficult for me to get this all the way over here. Like it's way down here, just traveling that short distance all the way out in this jungle is where this portal technically would be generated. But now I'm thinking this doesn't seem like it's gonna be that far, but like every block in the Nether is the equivalent to 8 blocks in the overworld. So this will put us a little ways away from our base, but I'm thinking like maybe over here in this center area might be nice. But what I've got to do is I've got to mine all the way down and see if there is possibly a lava bed at the bottom of this. If there is, that might be more than enough. Like we may not need a massive lake. We may just need like a little lava bed. Okay, so there is lava down here. Is it a lava bed? I don't fully know. It could just be a single lava block. Okay, there is other lava magma blocks down here. And I can't break the blocks down any further, so... Whoa, there's things blowing up. There is a chance that this could be. So you know what? The only way to find out is to literally tap the mantle and create a pump and see if we can't put a pump down here. Now, using the exact same method that we used on all of our other machines, I use that on the copper machine to be able to process it much like this, saving on some resources, which is really handy. So I'm going to throw this in here, and we are now making a hose pulley, which I want to test out with a hand crank and also a pump to see if this thing is actually unlimited. Now, the idea behind the unlimited lava or fluid sources is that you need 10,000 source blocks that are connected to each other in order for this to become an unlimited source. So we've got the hole dug and, well, we've got to extend this all the way down. So I'll take this, and I do want the spout, if this does work, to be facing like this direction. So I can rotate the machine so that way the actual spout is that way. And then we've got to carry this all the way down. I recommend breaking like a block. Oh, there's things shooting all over the place. Okay, so I recommend placing a block, using a hand crank, and then shift, I guess in this case, to bring this all the way down. Oh my goodness. Like, why does this have to be so scary? Like, there's stuff happening over here and I hear things exploding. I've just got to get this all the way down until it stops turning. So it has now stopped spinning, which is good news. If I grab that from there, let's also take all of these out of here. It was just to protect me. I do want to hook up a pump onto this, and then we'll use a cog if I have one. Now, I should definitely be more prepared next time. But there's the cog on there, and then I want to hook a tank up to it temporarily. And what I want to do while having my goggles equipped, I should be able to see if we can pump indefinitely out of here. So with our hand crank, we are going to make sure we're going to right click, and it does say tapping the mantle, which does say bottomless supply. Oh, yes. Okay, so now we just got to get some rotation to this. And we can do all kinds of different options for that. We have quite a bit of space over here. But yes, we now have unlimited lava. The goal now is to figure out a way to get the lava from here into the portal and back again. Oh, and yes, we got 100% lucky. I do recommend just like tapping spots. There's a lot of lava underground, and you will usually find some pretty large canyons just completely filled with lava. Now, the lava is handled. We can essentially pump lava, but how are we going to move the lava back into the overworld so that way we can use it? Well, we could use trains, or we could use belts, maybe even a cart contraption. I'm about to learn the hard way about the cart contraption. I think that possibly doing a cart contraption might be a good option here. So trains can be kind of finicky having them go in and out. Plus, trains do require lava already. So we could grab some lava and technically make some trains, but I do think that just simply using a regular cart contraption is going to be a really simple way. And we don't even need the cart contraption to be very big. It just needs to basically have a tank and a way to collect resources. And so let's just see how exactly can we send a cart through the Nether. So I'm thinking a powered rail right before we have this, and we want to make sure that gets powered up. Let's do this. So that'll send the cart directly in, and we want to make sure that this carries that cart's momentum into the Nether and then carries it onto the track. And which it does. Okay, we also want to make sure that we have another powered rail here to do the exact same on the other side. Let's make sure that we can send this cart back into the portal and it carries back on the other side. Like, that's going to be kind of important. And it does. This is where things are beautiful. You know what? I want to start designing a little bit of a back area here, a little bit of an industrial space, as we are going to have containers that are going to be storing lava back here. We're getting the aerial laid out. I mean, I'm thinking as far as the tanks go, which by the way are pretty darn expensive as of right now, I'm going to just start small. I just have a stack of tanks for right now. This will give me an idea of like how I need to set up my piping, and also tell me, hey, where does my cart actually need to go? Since I am going to need to power a pump in the overworld, I'm going to want this to be pretty fast. So I'm carrying over the stress that we're generating for our crushing wheels and the speed, and I'm just going to utilize that here. And I'm going to send that all the way over here, and we should be able to power this pump. So there we go. The pump is going to pull from the portable fluid interface, which is going to connect to our cart once we get that built. And then I'm just going to use a cog onto this to power it. It does say overstressed. I mean, this is a lot going on over here, but we could add more water wheels technically. I love how it is overstressed. The whole reason we're trying to get lava is to hopefully fix our future stress problems. And there we go. Adding one more, got this thing flowing to max RPM, which is exactly what I need. You can even go ahead and pop this open so we can actually see that it is lava flowing through, and we'll be able to see this when it is all running. But now that we've got this side basically done, I need to start thinking about how I'm going to set up the other side. And this one's a little bit more complicated because we are going to have to power it from within the Nether. So now I'm in the Nether, and believe it or not, water wheels, well, they do work with lava. So we can have lava just flowing down the side of this, and it works just like that. So with a little bit of gear ratioing all the way up to max RPM, we can place a gearbox, and I should definitely be able to get that going. Yeah, and it's going to use exactly the strength of 2 water wheels. Back in the overworld, let's go ahead and build this out. So my cart contraption is going to have some tanks on it. I mean, 16 is probably just fine for our current situation. But on the front is where things get a little bit odd. We do need the place for the interface. And I could make this taller. I could also have this like line up exactly. But the goal is that this is where the cart will go. And then we have this 2-block gap, which I do know, I think it will interface beforehand. But yes, it's going to go just like this. It's going to go back, and then it's going to turn around. And we don't want to lock rotation on this. We want to just leave it. And this is about as basic as it gets. I can add a little bit of pizzazz to it by adding like some pipes to the back. But I mean, that's our cart right here. All that needs to be done is add a little bit of glue to the entire thing. It's glued together, and we are ready to send this cart contraption out. So give it a little bit of a push, and it is now going into the Nether or it's supposed to go into the Nether. I'm unsure what happened here, actually. So now I've done it again. This time I've changed the shape a little bit, but yeah, I mean, this ultimately should send the cart through. I'm gonna remove this, and then we just need to push the cart. And it just completely removes the contraption on top of it. I've never seen this happen before. So now this is a completely new revelation for me, because I thought mine carts should work. Most contraptions can go through the portal, but I guess in this case, mine carts are an exception to that rule. Now, this whole setup can still technically function, but we just have to change some things a little bit. Instead of using a mine cart, we can use belts. So now essentially what needs to change is, instead of using like the contraption setup for carts, we are going to use an item drain, and we're going to actually just carry items and just shoot the items through the portal. Now, currently on this side, I want one side to be a receiving side, and then I want one side to be a sending side. And I believe that this will send differently, and we will be able to see those items actually getting flung out. But this is receiving power here. This is going to be the pulling side. And I was like, how can I connect this up? Well, believe it or not, we do actually have a way to easily connect this section right here. So we are going to take the shaft, and I'm going to place a shaft right here, and we can use a transmission chain to connect this belt to this belt. And it actually works really, really well. It's kind of like using a gearbox in the back here. I absolutely love this, as it allows me to have these really, really tight belt systems, as you can see right here. So now what we're going to do over here is we are going to fill a lava bucket with lava with a spout, and then it's going to be shot through the Nether portal and end up over here, and it's going to go into a barrel. We're then going to pull it into the barrel from the belt here, and then we need to send it out onto the item drain, which will then empty that bucket of lava, and then send the empty bucket back over here to kind of loop around. So now for this side, it's just a matter of making sure we can figure out where items are going. So I'm going to throw this through the portal. That item done went through the portal. And if we go into the portal ourselves, on the other side, I set up a system to be able to check. And what we should see is an item going through here. Let's see. Or it gets flung even further. Huh. I wonder if I do this, for example. I put a funnel, just some way to catch the item as it goes through. Let's try this again. So the goal is to send the item in there. It got shot through the portal. It went through the upper part, so it should also carry through the upper part of the portal, or so you would hope. And it should end up on the depot. Okay, and there it is. It is on the depot, just like I want. Okay, so I just had to raise it up a little bit. And so now this is pulling into the depot. And then what we're going to want to do is use a brass funnel to output off the depot, but only output if it is on the depot a full bucket of lava. Then once it's a full bucket of lava, it should then send that lava out onto here. That bucket then gets carried, and it should end up on the other belt on the other side. And then well, if it actually worked, yeah. We go back through the portal again, just to make sure. And did it work? There should be a bucket in this portal if it did work. Oh, wait. Oh, I messed up here. Okay. So it did go through the portal, and it did go through the correct area. It's just that I have to actually shrink this down, and I completely messed up on my belts here, didn't I? This needs to be extended. A cool thing about extending belts, by the way, is you can do it like this. But now we've ended up with another issue. But even this, there is a way around. So I do want to connect it up like this. But now we have this happening again, right? Where it's throwing it off. But if I put a casing here and then put a barrel in here, then we can actually just loop it around by making sure this is a accept and this is a send out. And so now it's just waiting essentially to send the fluid out. That then sends lava. And then we should see this process sort of loop around. And now is where we get into the interesting part. Okay, so we've almost got this done. I was hoping that the minecart would work. But there we go. So now we have this setting on here. And what we're going to need to do is then spout lava onto that depot, which means we do need to pipe our lava all the way over here. So for right now, I'm going to break the pump, and I'm just going to route some pipes I think I did throw some pipes. Yeah, grab some pipes here. We're just going to route the pipes around. And in the pack, I do have it configured where these should reach over 64 blocks from one pump. That should keep this nice and filled up. All we've got to do now to turn this thing on and have it fully functioning is by doing this. The lava then gets sent onto here, and that should rinse and repeat this process over and over again. We may be able to even put like 2 buckets on here, but look at that. That is now definitely working. And if we go through here without disturbing this, I hope, we can see that this is going to start filling up 1 bucket at a time. All right, so I did manage to get the lava sending over here, which is great, but unfortunately not using the cart method that I originally hoped. And that sometimes happens, and sometimes you just have to figure out a way around those problems. The cool part is we're still utilizing our Nether portal travel without needing to worry about trains at the moment. But I mean, now we can probably send 2 buckets, possibly. That one went through, that one went through, and now we have it working double the rate. Now, another thing you want to make sure to do is in the Nether, just make sure that whole area that you're working in is chunk loaded, and everything should be fine. Now for the fun part, I get to decorate this a little bit, and I think that looks pretty darn good. I encased everything with the copper casings. We have some copper scaffolding, which comes from just some regular copper that gets cut in a stone cutter. Got a little way to get up here, which is all really nice. But now that we have this running and we have some lava that's starting to build up, like 380 buckets, we could make this even faster if we use the built up lava that we're doing right now to fill a hole with lava. Now, I know that sounds wild, but the pump that we're using to pump this lava can also be used to fill areas with lava. And if we can fill a hole that is 10 by 10 by 100 deep completely with lava, well, we have an unlimited source that is right here at our fingertips. Now, I think one of the best ways to do this is to take your current height. For example, this is my height right here, which is 66, and then just simply subtract 100 from it. And so that should be from this line right here all the way down. That should give us the exact 100 blocks we need. So 10 times 10 times 100 is going to equal 10,000, which is the exact amount of source blocks that we need for this to work. Now, technically, there is a cheesier way that you can get around this whole setup and probably get away with like 1 singular source block that could equal infinite supply. But I'm going to do this the normal way, and I actually want to fill this whole area with the 10,000. So now I've just got the strenuous process of just mining this whole thing out. It is going to take a lot. It is 10,000 blocks being mined, but vein mine is going to help out quite a bit. Now with the hole all dug up, I mean, we are ready to place this in. That was the hardest part of this whole setup. So let's go ahead and get this ready to go. We're going to place in a new hose pulley, and I'm going to rotate this way. And I have the bottom of this lined up perfectly with this block. So the goal is that it is going to fill directly underneath it, and that should work out no problem whatsoever. And I think we can just simply tap this whole thing directly into the existing setup. So we'll just pipe this in and boop. Now that this is completely filled, this should start to place lava. Ooh, or maybe not actually. Maybe this does have to have it at least extended 1 down. Ooh, interesting. Well, in that case, I will place it up here, and then we'll place in the hand crank, and then make sure this is dropped down. And I think it fills right on the actual funnel itself. I mean, we're going to find out real quick as soon as we plug this in. So let's go ahead, plug it in, and let's see what it does. Okay, so no, it did place, oh boy, it did place right there. I'm going to pick this up with my lava canister, and we're going to place this down 1 more because that is where we want it, not on this level. Okay, so there's 1 and there's 2. All right, now we should be where we want to be. And that's going to start filling one bucket at a time, so long as these buckets are flowing. And there it goes. I mean, it's not the fastest process in the world, but over time, this will completely fill up. So there it goes, one lava bucket at a time, slowly filling our massive reservoir until eventually we'll have our own personal source right here at the spawn area. So nice. And this is going to provide us with so much lava that we can use for automating resources, because that is one of the primary ingredients. And we can also use create to technically move this around, and or in the future, it'll make it so much easier to fill other tanks because it will be a whole lot faster having it in world than currently using the bucket system. And then we can use things like refined storage, for example, to send lava anywhere we need it. So now I hope you enjoyed today's episode and learned a little bit about how to transport lava from the Nether into the overworld. And if you did enjoy today's episode, be sure to click that subscribe button if you haven't already, and give this video, guys, a huge thumbs up. And now, without further ado, it's time for us to also thank the amazing supporter of today's episode. And that amazing thanks, well, that is going to go out to Bajin. Thank you so much for your amazing support and choosing to support me over on the Discord by becoming a Discord premium member, supporting my content in one of the best ways possible. Thank you so very much. Guys, we have a long ways to go getting all of this lava put into use, and I look forward to doing that in the next few episodes. So if you did enjoy, I'll see you then, and as always, thanks for watching.